Seriously? You again? Didn't we just do this last week? You're kind of creepy. Alright guys, so I'm going to bust this up over 4 videos. The first video is going to be the Raspberry and Chipotle Salsa that I've come up with. Then you're going to have your refried beans. You'll have a video on the pineapple and cilantro slaw that I make. And the final video will be on the pork belly, how to sous vide it, and then how to make the tacos. So let's get started. So the first video we're going to do is the Raspberry Chipotle Salsa. For that, you're going to need the following ingredients: 18 ounces of fresh raspberries, 2 tablespoons of oil of your choosing,
oil that is, black gold, Texas tea,
a habanero diced, 2 cloves minced garlic, 1 can of chipotles in adobo, a 1/4 cup of apple cider vinegar, half a teaspoon of salt, 1/4 cup of brown sugar, a 1/4 cup of white sugar, plus another 1/4 cup of white sugar for tossing the raspberries, 1 14-ounce can of chopped tomatoes, or you can do fresh if you prefer, 1/2 large onion diced, and half a cup chopped cilantro. So the first thing you want to do is preheat your oven to 450 degrees Fahrenheit. I don't know what that is in Celsius because I live in America. Once you get it preheated to 450, take your 1/4 cup of white sugar, add them to the raspberries and toss them so you can slightly macerate your raspberries. Once you've tossed your raspberries, your next step is to get a sheet tray and line it with some tin foil or aluminum foil, whatever you have available. And you want to take those raspberries and spread them out as evenly as possible over that sheet tray with the tin foil. Once your oven's preheated, you want to add those raspberries to the oven at 450 degrees Fahrenheit for about 15 to 20 minutes. Just keep an eye on them. You don't want them to completely melt, but you also do want a little bit of color on them. You want them softened. Alright, next you want to go ahead and pull out your blender, your food processor. You can do this by hand, but again, this would be much more difficult to do by hand. If you have a blender or food processor, it's the way to go. Take the entire can of chipotle and adobo sauce and add it to your blender. Then grab the tin foil with your raspberries and all their wonderful juices on it and add that to the blender as well. Then you want to puree it until it's a smooth sauce. Now at this point, the chipotles alone with the raspberries, that's a great sauce, but let's take it up another notch and we'll make it into salsa. Your next step is to heat your oil up in your skillet over medium heat. Once you get a shimmer to your oil, add your onions and your habanero. After those 2 minutes, your next step is to add your vinegar, your salt, and both types of sugar, and then your chipotle raspberry puree. Once it's reduced by about half, take it off the heat and stir in your cilantro and your tomatoes. Then add it to your glass jar and put it in your refrigerator. You're set to go for a few months. And that's how you make raspberry and chipotle salsa. I hope you guys enjoyed this. This is an original recipe. To be honest, I usually buy this stuff straight from the grocery store, but my friend Beth saw the recipe and she was very interested in it. So I figured if Beth wanted the recipe, I should come up with an original one. I hope you guys enjoy it. The next video in the series will be the refried beans.
Well folks, it's time to call it a night. Do what you feel and keep both feet on the wheel. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. So till next time.
I'm evil, you're not. Get the fuck out.